Welcome to our History channel. Today we're going to dive into a famous battle called the Battle of Uhud. This battle was a key moment in early Islamic history where the Prophet Muhammad and his followers faced off against the Meccan forces. Let's find out what happened. If you enjoy our videos, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon to get notified about our latest uploads. The prelude to battle. Before the Battle of Uhud began, Muhammad's followers had achieved a significant victory at Badr, which deeply upset the Meccan leaders. One prominent leader, Abu Sufyan, felt a strong need for retaliation. Determined to reverse their fortunes, he rallied a substantial force aimed at challenging Muhammad and his supporters directly. Why was the Battle of Uhud important? The Battle of Uhud held great significance as it represented a critical moment for both sides. For the Meccans, it was an opportunity to avenge their defeat and reassert their dominance. On the other hand, Muhammad saw it as a chance to demonstrate the resilience and strength of his smaller group against the formidable Meccan army. This battle was not just a conflict between two forces. It symbolized a pivotal showdown with regional implications, drawing the attention of all who lived there. Everyone was keen to see if Muhammad's followers could once again withstand the might of Mecca. The Meccan Plan. In April 624, Abu Sufyan orchestrated a tactical assault aimed at Muhammad and his followers who resided in Medina. The plan was to execute a surprise attack early in the morning, shifting from camels to horses to ensure a swift and stealthy approach. Despite their efforts to remain undetected, the raid did not unfold as intended. It resulted in only a minor skirmish with minimal casualties and limited damage. The attack ultimately failed to achieve its primary objective of significantly weakening Muhammad's position. Muhammad's response. Unwilling to remain passive in the face of aggression, Muhammad promptly rallied his followers in response to the Meccan raid. Demonstrating leadership and a protective instinct, he organized a pursuit of the retreating raiders. Though this immediate counteraction did not escalate into a major confrontation, it was a clear signal that Muhammad was prepared to defend his community vigorously. Recognizing the need for a more strategic approach to secure the safety and future of his followers, Muhammad began planning additional raids. These were not mere retaliatory strikes, but calculated efforts to disrupt Mecca's alliances and cut off their economic and political support from the surrounding tribes. By targeting these lifelines, Muhammad aimed to weaken Mecca's influence and ability to wage further attacks, thus safeguarding his community and consolidating his position in the region. The gathering at Mount Uhud. As the stakes increased, preparations for a larger conflict intensified. The Meccans, determined to challenge Muhammad directly, mobilized a formidable army. This force included a contingent of cavalry and mercenaries from distant regions, showcasing their readiness for a decisive battle. They strategically chose to advance towards Medina from the north, exploiting the landscape's vulnerability where the city's defenses were most accessible and less fortified. Their march signaled a clear intention to engage in a significant battle, aiming to overpower Muhammad's followers through sheer force and strategic positioning. Muhammad's strategy. Aware of the numerical superiority of the Meccan forces, Muhammad faced the daunting challenge of defending Medina with fewer resources, particularly lacking in cavalry, which was crucial for mobility and defense. In response, he convened a council with his closest advisors to deliberate on the most effective defense strategy. The council considered the advantages of urban warfare, proposing to use Medina's narrow alleys and residential buildings as natural barriers that could disrupt and slow down the enemy's advance. This tactic would leverage the city's architectural layout to their advantage, potentially neutralizing the Meccans' numerical and cavalry strengths. However, opinions among his advisors varied, with some advocating for an open battle outside the city limits, believing it could allow for more maneuverability and a proactive defense. The decision to fight outside the city. After extensive consultations and weighing the potential outcomes, Muhammad made the strategic decision to confront the Meccan forces outside the confines of Medina, near Mount Uhud. This choice was fraught with risk, as it placed his less equipped and smaller force at a disadvantage against a larger and better armed Meccan army. However, Muhammad believed in the resilience and capability of his followers, and hoped that a well-executed defensive strategy could lead to a successful outcome despite the odds. The decision to fight in the open was aimed at avoiding the potential damages of urban combat within Medina and to meet the challenge head-on in a controlled environment. Setting up the battlefield. With the battlefield chosen, Muhammad meticulously organized his forces to maximize their defensive potential. Key to his strategy was the placement of a group of archers on a strategically important small hill, tasked with protecting the flank from cavalry charges, a known strength of the Meccan forces. He instructed these archers to hold their position under any circumstances, emphasizing the importance of their role in the overall defense plan. The main body of his troops was arrayed in a traditional line formation across the expected path of the Meccan advance, ready to engage the enemy head-on. This setup was designed to leverage the natural terrain and the disciplined coordination of his forces to counteract the Meccans' numerical and technological superiority. The battle begins. As the Battle of Uhud commenced, the tension-filled air was punctuated by the clash of advancing forces. The Meccans, leveraging their cavalry, launched an aggressive attempt to penetrate Muhammad's defensive line. However, the Muslim archers stationed on a nearby hill played a crucial role in thwarting these early assaults. Their strategic position allowed them to effectively repel the cavalry charges, keeping the horsemen at bay and maintaining the integrity of the Muslim line. Amidst the chaos, a daring Meccan warrior stepped forward, challenging the Muslims to a duel to break the deadlock. Responding to this challenge, Ali, a prominent follower of Muhammad, accepted the duel. His subsequent victory in this single combat not only thwarted the Meccans' attempt to demoralize the Muslim forces, but also significantly boosted the morale of his comrades, instilling them with renewed vigor and confidence. The turn of the battle. The battle's momentum shifted dramatically as it progressed. Initially, the Muslims maintained a solid defensive stance, effectively managing the Meccan advances. However, a pivotal moment occurred when the archers, who had been instrumental in defending the flank, noticed the seemingly unprotected Meccan camp. Tempted by the possibility of plunder, they abandoned their critical posts to raid the camp. This decision proved disastrous, leaving the Muslim flank dangerously exposed. The absence of the archers created a vulnerability that the Meccan cavalry did not fail to exploit, significantly altering the course of the battle and placing the Muslims in a precarious position. Khalid ibn al-Walid's move. Khalid ibn al-Walid, recognized for his tactical acumen and experience as a Meccan commander, quickly capitalized on a critical oversight by the Muslim forces. Observing that the Muslim archers had vacated their strategic position on the hill to loot the Meccan camp, he identified a vulnerable gap in their defenses. Seizing this opportunity, Khalid swiftly directed his cavalry to maneuver through this opening, launching a surprise attack from the rear. This unexpected assault disrupted the Muslim battle lines, sowing confusion and panic among Muhammad's troops. The effectiveness of Khalid's strike was evident as it threw the Muslims into disarray, undermining their previously solid defensive stance. The Meccans' pushback. Empowered by the success of their cavalry's maneuver, the Meccan forces intensified their offensive. As the cavalry engaged from behind, the main Meccan infantry renewed their push with increased vigor. The Muslim defenders, caught off guard and now fighting on two fronts, struggled to maintain their formation. The cohesion of their lines faltered under the pressure of the coordinated Meccan attack. Amidst the ensuing chaos, a devastating rumor swept through the ranks of Muhammad's army: the false news of Muhammad's death. This rumor exacerbated the situation, leading to heightened fear and confusion. Many fighters, believing they had lost their leader and the battle, felt despair and uncertainty, which further weakened their resolve and threatened to turn the skirmish into a rout. Muhammad's safety. However, Muhammad was not killed. He was injured but protected by his loyal followers who fought bravely around him to keep him safe. As the Meccans celebrated what they thought was their victory, they didn't realize Muhammad was still alive. The aftermath. Despite the initial success, the Meccans failed to capture Medina and eventually retreated. Muhammad and his followers regrouped, and their survival meant that the battle, while not a clear victory, showed their resilience and commitment. Thank you for watching our video on the Battle of Uhud. This battle teaches us about the importance of unity and following strategic plans. Even when faced with tough challenges, staying true to your role can make a big difference. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get more historical stories like this one. Share your thoughts in the comments below about what you think was the most crucial moment of the Battle of Uhud.